This is the newsroom.
This is the newsroom for Thursday, February 19, 2026. We're broadcasting to you on E1, SKAR TV, NTN, and TARZEE TV in Bartica. In the headlines, Fire Services quick response contained major blaze at Mon Repos storage bond.
We managed to stop off the fire from spreading both to the northern and southern side of the building.
Government reaffirms strong partnership at Energy Conference. At least 20 new areas to be added to updated local content law. Guyanese man remanded pending extradition to the US for fraud charges. And in sport, GMR&SC president promises to complete new drag strip once re-elected, and West Indies surge into Super 8s of World Cup with unbeaten run. With the news, I am Lizina Yearwood. Thanks for joining us. Quick response by the Guyana Fire Service prevented a major fire from spreading at a multi-complex storage bond at Mon Repos, East Coast Demerara on Wednesday afternoon. An investigation is ongoing to determine the cause of the fire.
The fire started at around 16:02 hours on Wednesday at a multi-complex storage bond at Mon Repos, East Coast Demerara. The building, owned by businessman Ramiz Mohammed, houses multiple operations, including the manufacture of tables, windows, and various hardware items. A loud explosion was reportedly heard inside the building moments before thick smoke was seen coming from the building. The Guyana Fire Service was immediately contacted, and they managed to contain the blaze.
5 water tenders from as far as Melanie and those around Georgetown. When we first arrived into the scene, part of this building was fully engulfed. We managed to stop off the fire from spreading both to the northern and southern side of the building. We were able to do firefighting and to stop the fire from spreading to get into the major part of the building. The first arriving appliances, they use water from the tank supply, which is a regular thing for us to do, our SOP kicks in. When those tanks were exhausted, we use water from a canal that runs north to south or west of the particular building. And so we were able to install some light pumps and did what we call water relay, sending water from one water tender to another and to the seat of the fire.
Fire Chief Gregory Wickham said firefighters face challenges accessing parts of the property because the business operators were not on site.
This here was a catastrophe waiting. The challenge generally that was posed was because many of these businesses, the owners were not there. And so we had to be breaking in order to get access to the seat of the fire. So we would be carrying out investigations to determine what caused this fire.
Meanwhile, Mohammed praised the fire service for their swift response. An investigation has been launched by the Guyana Fire Service to determine the cause of the fire. For the newsroom, Sharda Bacchus.
As Guyana continues to embrace regional partners, Finance Minister Dr. Ashley Singh said the Irfan Ali-led government strongly believes in a collaborative approach to development. The Finance Minister emphasized that the government recognizes that Guyana cannot realize its aspirations without private capital being attracted and investors being able to invest in Guyana while generating acceptable rates of return. He also noted that the administration is keen on government-to-government partnerships to advance CARICOM's development.
Companies like ExxonMobil, they didn't only come because they thought oil was in the ground or beneath the seabed. They came too because of the effort that we made to establish Guyana as a hospitable place for foreign direct investment, and indeed as a hospitable place for domestic private investment. And that took a lot of work in the pre-oil world. And it was in that environment that companies like ExxonMobil came to Guyana, started exploration, and ultimately would find oil. So this has been a long journey, and we've had a long journey of strong policy effort, like I said, to build up credible institutions, credible and strong institutions of state, to enhance Guyana, to establish and then enhance Guyana's attractiveness as a destination for investment, to ensure that we are responsive to the expectations of big international investors, because of course, large companies like ExxonMobil coming to, global giants like ExxonMobil coming to Guyana, expect a certain degree, a certain climate in which they will be operating. And we heard that, in fact, from Dan Haman this morning. And so it took a lot of work to get us to this point. And we, as a government, believe strongly, and we believe we have demonstrated our conviction in this regard, we believe strongly in the importance of partnership. We recognize that we cannot realize our aspirations as a country without private capital being attracted and being able to invest in Guyana and generate an acceptable rates of return. And that requires us to take certain actions.
Guyanese may be able to tap into additional areas of business carved out specifically for locals with the forthcoming revision of the Local Content Act. The director of the country's Local Content Secretariat, Michael Monroe, said on Tuesday. Passed in 2021, the local content law has been described as one that strikes a delicate balance between the company's operations and investing in and using local goods and services. It has carved out specific opportunities for locals, outlining 40 different services in the first schedule that oil and gas companies and their subcontractors must procure from Guyanese companies. Already, more than 1,200 businesses or companies have been registered with the Secretariat. Approximately US $2 billion has been spent with locals based on data collected by the Secretariat and shared by Monroe. The Irfan Ali-led government and private sector players believe this act can be revised to carve out additional areas for Guyanese, thereby giving them more opportunities to participate in the energy sector.
And going forward, we are hoping that we can amend the Local Content Act to cater and to ensure that it's more impactful and it's implemented in a way that lends to operational efficiencies of these companies, because we want their supply chains to thrive. Of course, we want to expand the first schedule as well. We currently have 40 areas, and we are on track to include some additional areas. I can say safely, without saying what the areas are, that we've already identified at least 20 areas that we can comfortably extend the first schedule to. And of course, we have had the good support of the sector, where they too have told us that they believe the Guyanese have capacity in these areas. And of course, we take all of that into account. And critically, and I think which has been a theme that we've heard throughout today's session, is digital transition. And of course, I think most of the audience is aware that we recently launched an online portal for certification with the view and hope that for companies to become certified, they can go through a seamless digital process that lends to efficiencies and, of course, ensures that the companies, the contractors and subcontractors could be more compliant.
Guyanese national Ron Lee Floyd Bino appeared on Thursday before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith Magusti at the Dorchong Magistrates Court and was remanded in custody pending his extradition to the United States. The court heard that on September 20, 2023, an indictment was filed against Bino in Ohio for misuse of a social security number, bank fraud, and aggravated identity theft. During Thursday's proceedings, the magistrate asked Bino whether he had legal representation or intended to seek a lawyer. He responded in the negative. When asked if he wished to challenge the extradition request, Bino also declined. Bino also confirmed he understood that by not contesting the request, he would be returned to the US to face the charges. Following his responses, Bino was committed to custody pending extradition to the United States. When the newsroom returns, Excel Guyana shares their strategic consultancy expertise and JAPART's expansion that caters for every sector. More when the newsroom returns. Welcome back to the newsroom. With several years of expertise as an investment consultancy company, Excel Guyana Inc.'s strategic goals have made it a trusted partner for international companies investing in the local economy. Chief Executive Officer Chris Sami has said the company continues to expand its expertise to meet the demands of local and international companies operating in Guyana, with a special focus on those hoping to enter the local market and in need of guidance navigating the numerous investment opportunities available.
We're 100% Guyanese owned. We're also a member of the local content secretariat as a Guyanese owned business. We help international companies establish operation and grow their business here in Guyana, and we've been in the CARICOM Latin region for 50+ years in terms of our experience working in this type of environment. We're also the first Guyanese company under the integrated management system, which is 3-level of ISO certification. We are the very first company to do that, and that is important because it highlights how important we see that health and safety and transparency and so forth are very important in the environment that we work in. I must also highlight that we are a bilingual company. So within Excel, you'll find within our staff we speak Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, in some cases French, and English. We are a bilingual company, so we are well positioned to deal with many of the international companies that are coming to Guyana. We're able to provide in civil works. We're able to provide in the mining sector. We have geologists. So we have very technical skills people within our reach or within Excel. So some of the more important projects that we've been involved with over the last few years, we are actively involved in the gas to energy project, for instance. We did subcontract work on the actual gas line that was laid from Crane to Wales. Excel EPC was involved providing civil work there as a subcontractor, CSIM, which was the company that won the bid from Exxon. A major project right now, like the Brickdam Police Station, Excel provides all of the custom brokerage work for that. We did all of the custom brokerage for the Marriott courtyard at the international airport. It's a long list of clients that we have worked with and we're working with in the custom brokerage, in the manpower supply, and actively through our engineering and the EPC supply. I think the other important factor is some of our larger foreign companies that are currently engaged with Excel, some of the projects that they're here to be able to propose for is the deep water port in Berbice, the Amelia Hydro project, also some of the large road projects from Linden to Letton, going to Brazil, so we're involved with companies there. So there's many companies that are, I would say, Latin, also American companies, and some Canadian companies that we're active with. I must say that we're a well capitalized company. We have foreign partners that supplied liquidity to Excel in terms of its reach in Guyana. And some of what we've done in the last couple of years, we've acquired land in Wales on the Demerara River. We will be building a shore-based operation there. We're also involved in land acquisition right now on Heroes Highway, where we're going to be building warehousing and office building there. We're very active also in Berbice. We're currently doing proposal in Berbice for land acquisition, 150 acres, to provide again a lay-down yard, warehousing, and also offer manpower service there. So we've been active, I say, as an investor in project, but also many of these projects we have foreign partners that assist in the financial capacity for these projects. For instance, in the warehousing, Excel may acquire the land, or foreign partner would build a warehouse to the technical spec that is required and meet all of the compliance requirement for the oil and gas sector, so we could expand the reach in terms of the companies within the oil and gas sector that will continue to do business with Excel that need to see things like HSSE, health and safety and so forth, that are being met at the highest level. So I think what we have done in launching Excel 6-7 years ago is the company is well, it's growing, it's an ISO certified company, The company is extremely liquid with capacity. We have been an aggressive recruiter for very good talents to add to our workforce. All of that is designed as with an end in mind. Our focus in the next couple of years is to have Excel as a local, a Guyanese publicly traded company.
Parts Guyana and Source One Supplies, a local company, has expanded its services to cater for every sector in Guyana while providing jobs for over 600 persons. The company's Chief Executive Officer, Terry Singh, has said over the course of 40 years, Parts has transitioned itself through massive investments in training and facility expansion to meet the local demands in mining and infrastructure sectors, while being one of the major suppliers for the oil and gas industry. He said the company is driven by the country's economic landscape and integrated in meeting those demands.
Parts is the mother company of Source One. Source One has been incorporated for the last 5 years. With our natural resources and Exxon, we must give a lot of praise and thanks to Exxon coming here to invest with their partners, their tier one contractors. We are one of the companies that are very fortunate to be the success story of the oil and gas. We have benefited tremendously from the oil and gas. We have found ways, and we have been motivated to train our people, hire our own skilled Guyanese, and we have grew our company based on those scenarios. Like the oil and gas, they're going to start working in Berbice. We're going to try now to find a location in those areas, establish ourselves to better serve the industry in those areas. The demand is there. The demand, more oil wells they put out, more SPFO we have offshore, more barrel per day means more items will be used and consumed in the economy. This is where you need to figure out what's your niche market as a local entrepreneur. How can you better serve the industry? How can you be a part of that built out? We supply a lot of safety gears, a lot of consumable items, even simple things like bolts and nuts, grade 8, UNC, UNF. We supply from paint, hardware, software, all kinds of tools, a lot of consumable items, a lot of reusable, environmentally friendly products that are here. But for many years before, during the OMI days and the Arima gold mines, Arima mining, and then AGM, Aurora Gold Mines, we were a supplier to these mining companies. So it wasn't difficult for us to transition to oil and gas. We used the same skill, our same marketing strategy. Some of the same products have been used in the mining industry, has been transferred to oil and gas. Today we have one of the largest inventory for the oil and gas, I believe, locally, to keep the supply offshore running, and I'm very proud that our team has managed to do that. We are certified. Every 6 months, all of our drivers, we're not just supply company. We have one of the largest trucking fleet, providing daily services to Halliburton, Schlumberger, Baker Hughes, these guys, moving all their petrochemicals around the city, in and offshore. Automatically, we already have HSC people. We have an HSC department. We didn't have that years ago, which we have somebody full-time looking over all the health and safety aspect of the business, training of the staff. We have an HR department that we have. We have a brokerage department. We have an accounts department. So as you grow your business, you need to establish those various departments and execute. That key figures and inventory control gives me, as a CEO, the advantage every day to make a decision. We analyze product that's selling and items that are non-seller, and then we try to now keep inventory based on that consumed offshore Guyana. But I'd really like to take the opportunity to thank the Ministry of Natural Resources for ensuring the local content plays an important role in keeping us, allowing local business to be paid on time, allowing local business to participate in these RFQ and RFI that is out. We are a 40-year-old company. We've been operating for 40 years. We got good credibility. We're very reliable. We're a household name in Guyana. We're trusted, and that is important. try to get yourself, find that niche partner in Guyana, find the product or services you want to provide here, do your due diligence with people in the country to make sure that they're qualified and certified to work with you. And we will do the same. We just built a brand new facility on the new 4-lane highway close to the Jaguar. It's a 20,000 square foot warehouse that's going to be having maybe 17,000 different items from A to Z. We're going to have a lot of items in this building. It's not just going to be an oil and gas building, it's also going to be a mining supply. You don't need to leave your office to get anything from Source One. We deliver.
Still to come, East Rheinfeldt man wanted for fatal construction site stabbing, and a rice farmer is robbed during a home invasion. Stay with us. Welcome back. You are watching the newsroom. Almost 1 week after a fatal stabbing at a construction site, the Guyana Police Force has issued a wanted bulletin for the suspect, 26-year-old Joshua Brown, also known as Black Boy and Uncle Big Head. Brown of lot 613 East Rhineville, Georgetown, is wanted for the murder of Fendel Trotman. Police had reported that Trotman, also called Johnny or Rastaman, a 30-year-old laborer of Anna Catharina, West Coast Demerara, was killed on Friday last at a construction site in Metten-Meer-Zurg, West Coast Demerara. According to the police report, investigations revealed that Trotman was working as a mason on a 2-story concrete structure along the Metten-Meer-Zurg public road when he became involved in an altercation with another man. Reports indicate that a scuffle broke out during which the suspect, armed with a knife, allegedly stabbed Trotman in the chest before fleeing the scene on foot. A knife sheath was discovered inside the building, and investigators have identified nearby CCTV cameras that will be reviewed as part of the ongoing probe. A bandit invaded the home of a rice farmer in Blackbush Polder Region 6 late Wednesday night and reportedly escaped with $150,000 in cash. Nazir Khan, 53, told reporters that he was at home with his family around 23:15 hours when they heard an unusual noise coming from inside the house. Concerned, he went to investigate and discovered a male intruder in the living room. The matter was reported to the Maibukuri police station that same night and again the following morning. Khan said it appeared the suspect gained entry by prying open an upper flat window which had not been locked.
There was no light in the house, so can recognize them very clear. And when they asked why you do that, he just run out the house. He already opened the door. I don't know when the door opened. He already opened the door and I come outside. I had a bag with money, $150,000 Guyana dollar was missing, and the person run out. So we don't know how much other person went with him in the house, but that is all we can see. And then he run towards outside, and the light when people through the window, we see him again. But when he come into the house, like he make a noise, like when he jump in, right? That wake me. He opened the door easy, and the door have 3 bolts. So he opened the door, and he left it open. And then like he do his searching and so, and then we said something like he rang me. When I got up, we see the man peep through the room door. When we see, but we don't know if he had any person with him. As a rice farmer, you always keep money home to pay workman and kind of stuff. So you just always keep money home to buy chemical and take the spray rice. Well, we look for the police come and do them duty when they're supposed to do, and he have to face the penalty for that.
The spotlight was placed on Guyana's creative sector Wednesday evening as creative industry leaders, artists and business stakeholders gathered at the World Trade Center in Georgetown for an Orange Economy Forum, from creatives to commerce. The event focused on strengthening the business side of creativity and explored how professionals within the industry can build sustainable livelihoods while contributing meaningfully to national development.
Now, the circumstances are more propitious and the opportunities are different. Our creativity and our heritage, along with our experiences that we have to sell here and to offer, is very unique. It's very unique, and that's why we believe in it. You will never get a more convinced partner in the government of Guyana, this government of Guyana, that we've made a commitment in our manifesto leading into the last election about the establishment and the development of the orange economy, so much so that we actually placed it specifically as a commitment. I just want to be clear to everyone too that over not just the years, not just the decades, but over the centuries, that culture, creativity, and the orange economy, how important it has been for the development of civilization, but also the periods within which they flourish. Look at the symbols that lasted over the centuries. People will go by millions to visit museums, art pieces, and just so that we're clear, it's not just art or performances. The orange economy is far more expansive than that. It's food, it's dance, it's fashion, it's obviously art, it's music, it's all of the culture that gives us our identity.
The World Trade Center, Georgetown, is less than a year old. And it was established by the DDL group because we recognized that we need to know more about the world, and the world needs to know more about DDL, about Guyana. And so we believe that this franchise that we enjoy in Georgetown, the World Trade Center Georgetown, has a critical role to play in presenting who we are, what we do to the rest of the world, and to help us also understand the rest of the world.
Tourism, art and culture, ultimately is one of the best and most sustainable ways that stimulates an economy. And it is from that unique Guyanese culture that the orange economy rises. The visual and performing arts, music, dance, theater, notable literature and film, fashion and design, which speaks so vividly to me, crafts, and of course the amazing Guyanese cuisine. All of that leads to heritage tourism, which I'm experiencing on this trip, that drive the Guyanese economy. Guyana, too, has a deep and rich history, which needs to be packaged, marketed, and better shared. Yes, with Guyanese expats like myself, but also with the people of the world at large. A lot of creators grow up not exposed to the needed tools and institutions that nurture creativity, with very limited understanding that creative fields, too, are great ways to earn a living, whether full-time, part-time, freelance, or even through entrepreneurship. And so education could start and be promoted in the early years. From the STEAM perspective, in primary years, in middle schools and high schools. And oftentimes industries such as constructions and trades are well promoted, but not as much for the creatives. So this education in art needs to become mainstream. The more mainstream the education is, the better it can create the networks for the artists. And that broad network can be promoted through freelancer platforms, potential employers, employees connecting, and industry sampling, for example.
When the newsroom returns, the financial, weather, and bridge reports, along with sport news. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Newsroom. Avinash Ramsan here with tonight's sport. We're starting off with some cricket news. Shamar Joseph became the first player to take 4 catches and 4 wickets in a single T20 international as his side West Indies beat Italy by 42 runs. Having already secured Super 8's qualification, the two-time champions completed a perfect group stage record of 4 wins from 4 at Eden Gardens in Kolkata. West Indies captain Shai Hope helped lead his side to a competitive total, compiling a second successive 50 before he was bowled for 75 of 46 balls, including 6 fours and 4 sixes. Roston Chase and Shufin Rutherford both added 24 as West Indies posted 165 for 6. Joseph with 4 for 30 and Matthew Ford 3 for 19 were to pick up the West Indies bowlers as Italy were dismissed for 123 in 18 overs. West Indies progressed to the Super 8s with much confidence, having bowled out 3 of their 4 group stage opponents. And Captain Shai Hope said that the West Indies are focused on staying in the present and not thinking too far ahead as they continue their journey to a record 3rd World T20 title. Speaking after his side's unbeaten run in the group stage of the global tournament, Hope said the template centers around taking one game at a time while also maintaining a strong focus on the ultimate goal. West Indies defeated Scotland by 35 runs, England by 30 runs, Nepal by 9 wickets and Italy by 42 runs to end Group C as the only unbeaten team. Next up for the Caribbean side is a clash against Zimbabwe on February 23rd from 9 hours 30.
We saw the threat that Italy posed in the competition, so there was no stones left unturned once again today. But as you said, we played another good game of cricket, probably could improve in some areas. Still happy with the way the guys are going and the momentum is going in the right direction. Like I said, we're just playing every game, one game at a time. There's always some area that you can improve in every single game. You just can't look too far ahead. I've got to ensure that we focus on what's in front of us, not necessarily harping on too much on the areas that we fell short in. Just about giving the guys the confidence that they truly need, especially going into the crunch time of the tournament when you really need to be firing. But we also know it's a game of sport, and any sport, everyone's not going to fire every single day. So especially in team sport, the important thing is when one of your teammates are down, the other guys, we got to ensure we pull them up, pull some slack for them. And that's the way how tournament play works, especially in a big tournament like this. When one guy is down, we got to make sure we keep pulling them up. This is a big tournament, this is the biggest stage. And we all want to be there at the end. We know what it takes to get there. And if you want to be the best team at the end of the tournament, then you've got to ensure that you're doing the necessary things to give yourself the best chance of lifting that trophy. So the focus, the discipline, the clarity, the execution, the willingness to want to do the hard yards and go the extra mile for the team, all those things have to come together as a collective. And as you can see it from the outside, and I can definitely tell you from within, you can feel it. We really want it, and we're just playing every single game, day by day, not thinking too far ahead, staying in the present, and whatever we need to do to try to win, that's what we're going to try to focus on every single time.
Meanwhile, Zimbabwe finished top of Group B at the T20 World Cup after stunning co-host Sri Lanka in a 6-wicket victory in Colombo. Both sides were already guaranteed their place in the Super 8s, but Zimbabwe, who did not qualify for the last T20 World Cup in 2024, progressed unbeaten after completing a fine chase of 179 with 3 balls to spare. Opener Brian Bennett, who's yet to be dismissed in the tournament, followed his score of 64 not out in a famous win over Australia last week with an unbeaten 63 to steer home the chase. He shared an opening stand of 69 with Tadiwara Marumani. After Marumani fell for 34 and Ryan Burl for 23, he played the anchor role as captain Sikandar Raza struck 45 from just 26 balls. Earlier, the opener Patum Nisanka, who also scored a fine century in Sri Lanka's win over Australia, continued his form with 62 from 44 balls in his side's 178 for 7. And Afghanistan ended their World Cup campaign with a commanding 82-run win over Canada, who have also failed to progress to the next round. Led by Ibrahim Zadran's career-best 95 not out of 56 balls and Sedikola Atal's 44 of 32, Afghanistan powered to 200 for 4, with Jaskaran Singh taking 3 for 52. In reply, Canada managed 118 for 8 with Mohamed Nabi taking 4 for 7 and Rashid Khan 2 for 19. Afghanistan ended third in Group D with 2 wins and 2 defeats, while Canada finished bottom of the 5-team table, losing all 4 of their games. Motor racing news now. One of the foremost projects for Mahindra Rajguru, once he's re-elected president of the Guyana Motor Racing and Sports Club, is to complete the new drag race strip at the South Dakota circuit. Speaking ahead of the February 21st elections, where he's up against the current vice president, Mohammed Shairaz Roshendin, Buru said construction of the new strip is about 20% complete and the remaining works will be done in phases. Buru also announced that Guyana is putting in a bid to host the prestigious 2026 Drag Racing Championship final, hence the need to have the new strip completed.
So the drag strip has been one of the things hanging over me for a while, and that has been so since we took office. And for sure, in this storm, as president of Guyana Motor Racing, I will deliver the drag strip. We are at least 20% completed on the drag strip. We have the full design that we want, and we're going to do it in phase. A drag strip is 1,320 feet. It's not, so that is a racing strip. It's made up of different components. You have a burnout area, you have a starting line, then you have the finishing. So doing the whole design together wasn't just say, hey, we're going to put on a piece of strip 1,320 feet. Imagine the runoff areas. You need at least half of a mile runoff and stopping area. If something is to go wrong, you need a safe drag strip. Imagine we are in Guyana right now having cars in sub 6 seconds. How safe it is, or how would that be if you don't have a proper runoff area? That's why I choose, or we choose the location that we have to put a drag strip because of the runoff area. We have to build a proper strip for only 1,420 feet, because we want 100 feet burnout area and then 1,320 race, and we have half a mile of runoff.
You're looking to get the Caribbean Drag Racing final. That is backed by the FIA in Guyana.
So this is a series started in 2025, and the finals were supposed to be in Jamaica early 2026. Happened so the hurricane, God forbids, they weren't able to pull that off. But Guyana is putting up a bid to host a final for the 2026 finals. And that is at least 7 to 8 countries competing in the Caribbean level in our backyard. So we are going to bid to get that finals here.
We tell you now that former national cricketer Shamroy Barrington has taken his latest step in the business world with the launch of SS Green King Laundromat, as he aims to proverbially bowl over the local service industry. The former top-order batsman officially opened the doors to his new facility at Covent Garden on the east bank of Demerara on Wednesday, marking an important expansion of his growing business portfolio. Barrington, who already operates a successful steam cleaning service, says that the lessons learned on the cricket field have been fundamental to his transition into entrepreneurship. For Barrington, the venture is more than just a local service. It is a strategic move to secure his family's future.
The drive comes from sport. If, who don't know, I play cricket for Guyana, and, you got to be disciplined to be an entrepreneur. It wasn't easy to, come to this position that I am in right now. So it is similar to playing cricket. Not every day you're going to go out there and do well, so, you just keep going and keep trying, and at the end of the day, just, when you open a business, you got to be confident, discipline, determination. It's similar to cricket, so you got to get up early, be positive, and once you open, you open for success, for another big somebody to come and support your business.
Very, very proud of you. From moving from a cricketer, moving to owning a small business, driving your own truck. And those are stories you must tell as a successful entrepreneur, so that persons can understand what it actually takes to get to where you are now. Driving your own canter, delivering your own water, filling your own bottles, people need to understand that moving into landscaping, doing the work by yourself, and still continuing in your other businesses when you go wrong, going and clean the facility yourself. People need to understand the commitment that you need to make your own business successful.
Most obviously, I want to create generational wealth. That's my biggest focus here. And, because, we all got to go. So to leave a legacy.
Now, the National Sports Commission, the NSC, will host a specialized physiotherapist workshop on February 27th at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall as part of its continued efforts to strengthen athlete care and medical support across the country's expanding sports sector. The initiative was formalized following a collaborative meeting between the NSC and the Ministry of Health, Disability and Rehabilitation Services Department, headed by Dr. Arian Mangar. The partnership, according to the National Sports Commission, reflects a growing recognition that athlete welfare must remain a central pillar of national sport development, particularly as Guyana continues to increase its participation in regional and international competitions. Director of Sport Steve Ninval emphasized the significance of the workshop, noting that the country's sporting landscape has evolved rapidly in recent years, creating greater demand for qualified physiotherapy professionals who understand the unique needs of athletes.
Well, the National Sports Commission is very happy that we can assist in hosting a seminar that I think is of extreme importance. What this will do is equip our coaches and some of our administrators with the basic knowledge of physiotherapy. And it's a step in the right direction. Just recently, we would have held a seminar with the Epilepsy Foundation of Guyana.
Physiotherapists, Ninval pointed out, play a critical role in modern sport, particularly at the elite level, noting that their expertise extends beyond injury treatment to include injury prevention, rehabilitation planning, performance optimization, and recovery management. For athletes competing internationally, having a physiotherapist travel with national teams is often essential, ensuring immediate medical response during training and competition, reducing recovery time, and safeguarding long-term athlete health.
Physiotherapy plays a critical role in the development and in the performance of our young sportsmen and women. And we would want to make sure that our administrators, coaches, and athletes have access to such information. So this would not be one-off activity. We want to make sure that it is structured in a way that we can have at least 3 of these seminars during the course of 1 year.
The upcoming workshop is expected to bring together physiotherapists, sport administrators, coaches, and medical personnel from multiple disciplines, creating a platform for knowledge exchange and practical learning. Ninval also noted that the workshop aligns with the broader vision of the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport to professionalize support systems within sport and ensure Guyanese athletes receive world-class care. Earlier this month, the NSC collaborated with the Epilepsy Foundation of Guyana to host a pioneering workshop aimed at improving awareness and management of epilepsy in Guyana. And with that, we've come to the end of the news for this evening. Of course, you can find updates on these and other stories on our website, newsroom.gy, and all social media platforms. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Avinash Ramzan. Thanks for watching. Be safe. See you next time.